Oi, galerinha! Hoje no Megafone a gente vai estar apresentando um filme, né, que é Locator. É isso? É, é isso mesmo. E aí, e o Rodrigo vai conversar com ele, vai estar conversando, tendo uma entrevista. Tá bem legal, hein? Essa entrevista, mas primeiro a gente vai assistir esse filme, tá? O nome do autor é T.J. Whiter, com o filme Locator. Bora lá?
Take on the dresser, streets is calling. I'm Brian, call me on leather. Nigga, I'm ballin'. I'm from the grimiest ever. Where I'm from, lil' homie, it's whatever. Sing me a song, but don't worry.
You are sure your men can't access it?
Yeah, man, we tried everything. There's no way we can enter it.
Shut him up!
I need it open. Is there other way?
No. That's why I need this man alive. He's the only way in.
He won't talk.
Then we'll make him talk.
I'd like to see you try.
Give me 8 days.
Slamming Matt on the football field at the University of Los Angeles to swinging tiny sticks. Sure come a long way, Ryan Sky.
Who are you?
You also scored a season down with the Raiders in Nevada. Impressive start, but sadly that had to come to an end due to a back injury and your team losing the game in the final seconds. And that stunt on the strip.
The only thing you need to know about us is that we know everything about you, and we have an offer that might be of interest to you.
Oh, no. I'm just trying to chill and play golf, so why don't you two take your offer and go elsewhere? We'll have to get active around here.
We can't talk here. Come with us.
Look, if this is some sort of sex thing, I want out.
You always make a joke of every situation you're placed in.
Well, I try. Helps me get out of shitty situations.
Good. This might come to your advantage.
You're not scared? One bit?
Nah,
How come?
I know you won't kill me. If you or someone else wanted me dead, I'd be dead. I haven't done anything wrong. Plus, you two don't strike me as killers.
Is that so? Looks can be deceiving.
And it's obviously a kidnapping. I'm not blindfolded, handcuffed. You got this fancy private plane. What could I possibly offer you two?
Smart for a job.
I'm from Compton. You develop your senses there. Learn how to survive. Can I ask you two a question?
Sure. Go for it, since there's no shutting you up.
What is this? Just tell me So you can land this thing, I can go back to my game of golf.
You're not really good at golf.
What you mean? Well, you can't exactly take your opponent to the ground like a football, so yeah, that's a bummer. But see this here? It's thinking man's game. And I be thinking.
Right. Now, when we land, you will address everyone as sir. You will be on your best behavior. You'll be debriefed. And this one is important. Whatever your answer might be, you don't discuss it with anyone. You'll be compensated for your troubles.
Debriefing? What debriefing?
You'll find out soon enough.
Is this him?
Wait. What if I got the wrong guy?
It's him.
So, Ryan, you must be wondering why you were summoned here today.
More like drag, but yeah. What's your game?
I am Major Tom. I run ground control.
What is this place?
We run a tight-knit operation, from spies to global espionage to international manhunts and more.
I think you might have the wrong guy.
What do you think?
I'm a washed-up football player. I do not think I am in the right place.
You are in the right place. We think you can be one of us.
And I think differently.
Hear us out. We want you to maintain your identity as a golfer. Enlist you in the PGA to go through basic training and then work for us as a spy for ground control. Keep in mind, this remains below the radar. We cannot risk the identities of any of our people. Do you understand?
Wait, the PGA? Yo, y'all saw me coming out the spot. I play, but I don't play. Like, I golf, I don't golf. When I play, man, you know, drive a cart, you know, get back to Slizzard, sativa, not indica, gotta be sativa. Yo, what you is? Hybrid? Yo, you ever smoked that strand dinosaur pussy? Oh, that T-Rex monkey have you up there.
Is he stupid?
It could be.
I just told you you work as a spy, and that would caught your attention.
Yeah, I heard what you said.
And you're more interested in the PGA?
Well, not really, but it did catch my attention.
Your attention, how?
I'm black. Like, black, and you talking about pro golfer by day, international super spy by night. That's hard. Y'all probably need somebody a little more, you know, mulatto, Cabo Avila.
That's how you maintain your cover. It's called hiding in the open. That's the way things work. Besides, you'll have your own private training program. Just don't think anymore. Just listen. Around here, you'll lead a normal life as a cover. Do you understand?
Keep DB to a card. Got it.
What is your answer?
I need some time.
Time? You have one night. Sleep on it.
Follow me.
These Africans studied the stars and developed detailed astronomical knowledge, which they documented in monuments and artifacts. The Nubians also tracked the precession of the stars and their movements. One of the more well-known astronomical monuments they created is the Nabta Playa, which is also known as the world's oldest astronomical observatory.
fake it, little homie, I'm too paid. I'm TJ, I'm D Great. From the great state, dog, it's on my license plate. The gang signs get throwed up like the Heimlich. All before the last assist fall. And all football then last assist fall. See, I was in tune third, yeah. And I was trying to let these hoes slide, yeah. But niggas tried to play me, now these niggas got to pay me. Damn, put me on the team and didn't want to play me. Damn, put me on the team and didn't want to pay me. Look at me now, motherfucker, is you crazy? I bow like Dion, but I rap like Jay-Z. I mean Neon, I think like Elon. Eons ahead of motherfuckers like Cleons. Autonomous Thomas, I'm like Dora with the beacons. Compared to me, these dudes is miscreants. Oops, I mean peons. Type of dude I wouldn't even pee on if they was on fire. I'm on raw. I'm totally too stampular. I too sampled her, eating on food stamper. The dudes mad at me for the ring like dude ranchula. But dog, it's a clean sweep like two janitors. Trapper, 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 trap, 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 trapper, 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 I'm a trapper, trap, 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 trap. I use blockchain to get my whole block changed. They had my people on blocks and chains, had us block name, but I said follow my block name. Niggas pop shit, but we gon' pop they top name. I'm noodles, they call me low man.
I take it you have some questions for me?
So,
Go on, son.
firstly, how dangerous is this?
Not very. With your status as a pro golfer, we'll ask you to infiltrate high roller parties, high stakes casinos for information, getting close to some of our targets. Maybe even a backroom game. That's where most of our operations take place. You'll be well equipped, so if the situation ever arises, which I doubt it will. Moreover, I'll have these two monitoring you, so you'll have sufficient backup should you need it.
That's good to hear.
Your second question?
Why me?
That's a good question. Well, what we need is an everyday man. Someone who doesn't draw too much attention. Who watches golf, anyway. That will work to our advantage. You'll be in the shadows, a ghost, a phantom. You'll be in and out. No one will suspect you. Something or someone goes missing, you wouldn't suspect someone who plays golf, would you?
That didn't answer my question.
Son, I know your history. Grew up in Compton. Saw all that bloodshed. I know you weren't the quiet type. You were, however, the smartest of the bunch. Evaded arrest and murderous threats on your life. Left Compton for LA. You're a hard worker. Worked your way up. ULA football. You were the best. Drafted for the NFL straight after graduation. Las Vegas Raiders. That was unfortunate what happened to you after that, but you didn't give up. You didn't quit. You changed careers, and now you're here. That's what I need. Someone who doesn't give up. Your little gangbang stint was the perfect training for this. We've had you on our radar for quite some time. In many ways, you could say you are the chosen one. Now, I wouldn't want to contact your cousin Rico. That could bring down the whole Black Compton family. Satisfied?
I'll do it.
Great. Francis will take you to the armory and get you.
Wait. What about training?
Knowing you, I think you can manage. What you'll be doing is simple surveillance. There shouldn't be any trouble.
So I'm on the field?
Yes. Tonight there is a banquet. Most of your golfers will be there. Our target will be there too. Once you get suited, I'll give you the specifics.
Follow me. Take off your clothes. Wear these. The second button of your jacket contains a camera where we can monitor your activities and surroundings. Take this. It will be concealed under your jacket where you'll find more ammo if needed, and only when needed. There's a microphone in the cuff of your jacket where we can transmit our audio to you. You will be using this earpiece.
What about signal ring?
Don't worry about those. We have it covered.
What about signal jammers?
Don't worry about that. We can bypass them as well. Any more questions?
No.
Good. Follow me.
You will be receiving your Swiss Army knife. It does everything for you. It picks, locks, fires lasers. It's a defensive shield or an explosive device. It can tear gas an entire room, bypass security, and handle mission information. And most importantly, it has a heat-seeking radar, so keep it safe. Now, if you misplace it, there's a button on the fob. It'll tell you its location, dead or silent. Now, these apps don't work if the phone is dead, plus a missing phone creates a useless Find My Phone app. If someone steals it, it'll transmit an electrical shock, and if you move more than 20 feet from it, it'll beep until you're in range.
Okay.
Okay. Now for the mission brief. Team, tonight marks the start of our mission against Russian arms dealer Bakadir Irgasev. Francis and Arthur will be known as Eagle 1 and Eagle 2 on mission premises. I wasn't asking for questions, but go on, Francis.
Why am I Eagle 2?
I'm sorry, what?
Why am I Eagle 2?
Well, Eagle as in you'll be monitoring Orion, and 2, you are second on the team.
Oh, why can't I be Eagle 1?
Because you are second best.
That is such bullshit.
If you have a problem with your handle, you can ask your partner to switch code names.
Yeah, Arthur, you want to switch names?
No.
Come on.
All right, it's settled. You're Eagle 2.
Why can't we change my name? I can be Vulture, he could be Eagle.
Vultures don't look over, they scout.
Can we just change my name?
No.
Well, who came up with these names?
I did. Okay, as I was saying, Orion, you'll be known as Locator 1.
Oh, come on. He gets a cool nickname? And why is there a 1? I mean, isn't he the only locator?
If you have a problem with my code name, shall I sit down and let you do the mission brief?
No, sir.
Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, this Irgasev is dangerous. He's accompanied by 2 guards and his right-hand man, Solomon King. Solomon mostly remains alone in his room. He's also a vital part of this mission. There is a third person. So far, we have no clue who that is. Your mission is to track Irgasev's movements. Tonight, no need to contact now. We'll do so when the time is right. Secondly, find out who the third person is and any links to get to Solomon King. If things go south, we'll have Exterminator 1 and Exterminator 2 on site. It's simple. Any questions? Good. All the best. I look forward to seeing this mission to completion.
Ryan Scott?
Oh, Xavier!
Good to see you.
What's up, man?
What you doing here?
You know, PGA stuff.
Good, good. I see you climbing that ladder. But listen, sorry for what happened last time in Vegas. And I should have came and visited you in the hospital. I was just so angry about you getting shot. So I left to go play basketball in China. Man, ain't no ball player supposed to be out here thugging and gang banging. And I told you to leave them fools alone. But I'm sorry. I'm damn near the king of Beijing. But if I had your speed,
I'd honored and cherished every moment. Heard it a million times. I got it. It's fine, man. You know, I gotta get back out here and meet some execs and sponsors, you know, PGA stuff, but we should definitely catch up, man. Finish our game of one-on-one. I'm winning, right? You know how it is, man. But you know, tell our brother, say, hey, man.
I'll say it.
Thank you. You know, a girl like you shouldn't be getting treated this way. You want a drink?
Tequila. With lime? Okay. What's your name?
Orion. And it'd be nice to know yours.
This one.
Wu-Tang the gentrification. So I was just saying that, you know, wouldn't be no ODB if wasn't no gentrifying me.
Yeah.
So what's up with that dude though? It's your work?
Something like that.
It's like a dude you like.
Yeah.
What y'all supposed to do?
Let's get out of here.
Mine.
It's a surprise.
I love surprises.
Good. Except you can like it.
Said I'ma ride with my hand on the gun. Yeah, I'ma ride with my hand on the gun. I'ma get at me when it's really work. Yeah, I'ma ride with my hand on the curb.
Nobody's real here. That's hard to believe. But why you here, T? I'm here to be seen. Them niggas over there, they just here to...
Grab the chair.
Oh yes, Mr. Officer, arrest me. Lock me up. Go away the kid. Ah, shit. Lie. Oh. What you doing, baby? I'm gonna tap that ass. Ah! Ooh, ooh. What you doing, baby?
Vulture, it's done.
Classy chick, but she be on some gangster shit. I'm riding with my gangster bitch. My gangster bitch. Educated, classy chick, but she be on some gangster shit. I'm riding with my gangster bitch. My gangster bitch. Educated, classy chick, but she be on some gangster shit.
You are sure your men can't access it?
Damn, man, we tried everything. There's no way we can enter it.
Shut him up! I need it open. Is there other way?
No. That's why I need this man alive. It's the only way in.
He won't talk.
Then we'll make him talk.
I'd like to see you try.
Give me 8 days.
Don't resist, darling. They'll be all over soon.
Don't do this. You'll regret it.
I'll take my chances, considering I'm the one with the knife and the taser. Now, tell me, how do I access a device of yours?
It's of no use to you. It's just a communication.
Let's try again. How do I access that device of yours?
I'm telling you the truth.
Nice guys don't shout.
Isla, it's time.
Playtime's over.
Walk. That's enough. Now what? Now you pray.
Whatever we planned for, we're still one person short.
We can't risk another man's life.
She's right.
I'll do it.
I can't allow that, not after what happened.
Still on the table.
No. She's gone through enough crap.
Need a hand?
How did you even get here?
Nice lady upstairs let me in.
What are you doing here?
Thinking of joining back.
What?
Yeah. Sounded crazy to me too, but hear me out. I know their faces. I can help.
What do you suggest?
First, I want training. I don't want no more of this pretend you're back in the hood with the homies any given Sunday bullshit. I'm not trying to get kidnapped ever again.
And don't forget, kidnapped by a woman.
Secondly, I'm gonna need my team.
You got it.
Settle.
I'll be damned.
Can we change the names?
No! Welcome back, Locator One.
Trap. I use blockchain to get my whole blockchain. They had my people on blocks and chains, had us block name. But I said follow my block lane. Niggas pop shit, but we gon' pop they top name. I'm new as they call me.
Right, so Megafone is happy to receive here TJ Wright. And then we got a few questions about this film, which you've been watching on this channel. We're happy to show his movie, his short film, which who knows will become a TV series, will become a feature film. So far, the film has 28 minutes. In some festivals, it can be accepted. In certain festivals, the festivals that I have signed up for, you folks know that I already have a short film, and my short film goes into festivals that take films under 10 minutes. This one, for festivals that are under 10 minutes, wouldn't take this one because it's 28 minutes. But as you folks have seen it on TV, then now we're going to discuss with his personality the story, what is behind this film. You know, it's one of the best things we do here on the show is talk about films. It's one of our favorite topics. So TJ Watt is here with us today, and as a former NFL player, by the way, welcome to Megafone.
Thank you. Yeah, pleasure to be here. So appreciative of having me here. It was great to connect with you, and I'm looking forward to talking more about this film.
Yes, and as a former NFL player, what inspired you to transition into the world of filmmaking and storytelling? Because, like, even though you didn't direct the film, somehow this is your story. So, and you're somehow involved in filming, right? So, what kind of like inspired you to do that transition from NFL to filmmaking?
Well, so it's a couple of different things. So for one, I was an artist before athletics took off. So I wasn't like I'm not the biggest guy. I was always a standout on the football field. But you go through grade school, you're just like everybody else, right? So the odds are so slim of people actually going to the pros. You know, I was able to just feel my life, and as football got more serious, then you're asked to focus more on one thing and put some things to the side. So this film right here is actually something that I wrote a very long time ago, and it's an idea that I had for a very long time, and it was just the appropriate time and to move forward as we go through in life. You know, we don't want to look back with regrets. And another thing is athletics is a performance. So I also went to fashion school right after I finished playing sports. So I just started to notice the parallels in life, and the main thing is that we really are just performers, right? It's a famous quote from Shakespeare: "Life is just a stage." And so I was looking for that next challenge and the next place. And so, started to work on scripts, wrote the script, directed it, co-directed with Grant Savoy, like I said, childhood friend. And, now we're here. So I'm there. Like I said, I'm glad I took that step, took that risk.
Oh, I see. But do you plan on making other films? Or
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So during my time playing and in college, and even immediately after that, for about the first 3 or 4 years, I've just been writing different things. And like I said, I'm an artist at heart. So I work in different mediums, and I was always wanting to challenge myself as an artist in different mediums, and very eager to learn and to become better and grow as a director, because I think that, this is such a layered and intense what I want to say the field of film, right? The end result, which is entertainment, but it's so intricate, is a warm and welcome challenge, and somewhere I would like to, in an area I would truly want to grow in.
And can you share the process? I mean, the process of developing the concept for Locator, and how did you come up with the idea of like combining this espionage, sports, crime fighting, and all of this in this film?
Well, it was like, how could you have someone be a 007 or espionage character that started off in the inner city, right? What would be a quote unquote believable story? And I, started from there. How could we have somebody with my experience of the communities that I come from and represent to have identity in that space? And I felt like it would be a natural story for someone who was, involved in sports, always had a head on their shoulders, what was in a challenging environment, and have these intense situations that kind of, make or break them and pull them into a new direction. So.
Yeah. And how did your yeah, so then in that case, your background influenced the making of this film, right? Your background was, you'd say, was your greatest influence, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. The background, and we live in the times right now is about diversity and inclusion, and so a lot of communities have not been included, but love this particular genre and this particular style of film or type of film. We all love the Jason Bournes, the 007, and all these different characters, John Wicks, these different characters, but they're hardly ever centered around someone, from a more diverse background in the United States.
Oh, and by the way, folks, this film is only 28 minutes, and there's so many characters, and I'd say these characters are pretty developed. You know, there's a whole story behind these characters. So then, I'd like to dive into the subject now. The characters we're going to be discussing one by one, starting with Arthur, the special agent, in the film, who ran away from home at a young age to join the agency. And how does his background impact his approach to his work and his interactions with the rest of the characters?
Well, first, I want to thank you for noticing that. Yeah, we have been working on the character development. And so what Arthur does, he represents someone by leaving at an early age. You know, he's more of a lifer, kind of disenchanted by the whole process, and he wants to do everything by the rules. And he's, for lack of better words, a company man. And so it just shows that he's aged in the film. So it shows that, he's been doing this for quite some time, which explains his calm demeanor and kind of why he's dry delivery and not really moved by the magnitude of his position, which is to protect the world, the free world as we know it.
And then this Russian individual whose name I even have a hard time pronouncing, Bak Hardir Irgi. It's hard to say his name.
Bakadir Irgisev.
Yeah. So he's described as a Russian arms dealer and a rocket scientist. Now, what motivated you to create such a unique and complex personality? And then, by the way, good job with that accent of his in the film. So can you tell us more about his role in the story?
Yeah, so he's the villain that sets the tone. It's like I said, being inspired by some of the movies I grew up watching. Die Hard, comes to mind quickly. But wanted to give it that sophistication. So I think a hero is only as good as his villain, right? And the villains really make the movie. They give everybody someone to root for and against, right? Because they're human. So if you can humanize them in any way, then people can sort of see for them, they get to have the most fun, right? If you look at Batman, it seems like Joker's having all the fun and Batman's always locked in. And so that's kind of the ideology behind him, was to create this high-powered villain that's more human. So I wanted to humanize the character of this movie. It's no special effects, there's no real fight scenes or anything. So we want to focus on the development of the person. He's a high fashion individual. And by having that combination of being this front-facing techno king, right? This tech guru who actually is supplying wars and arms. I feel like it's at that crossroads. So like I say, we want to delve into these more sophisticated elements and mirror different characters and elements from world history at various points of time for individuals who love and are motivated by action adventure movies that can cross over into this realism sphere, right? When they see the parallels, sort of like a Matrix-y type movie.
And is the actor who portrayed him actually Russian? Because really?
Yeah, no, Calvin De Libero, he's a great actor. And he's up and coming talent. He actually is the person who did that. So a lot of the people in this film started off doing stage plays with them. It's from Boston, the Boston area, actually. And we met in Hollywood.
So, I mean, because he did a fantastic job. You can tell he is you can tell he is an American or somebody who's just making that accent, because it really sounds authentic. You know what I'm saying? You really can't tell that. Wow, it really sounds Russian.
Well, I can't wait for him to see this interview. He definitely put in the work. It's something we went on over in rehearsal. It's something that he, spoke on and wanted to do it, wanted that challenge. And this, like I said, I'm excited to hear that being a part of it. I'm really happy for him. I can't wait for him to see this.
And so now moving on to Francis. Now, Francis is mentioned as a top Yale graduate and a Navy SEAL. So what inspired you to create this multifaceted character, and how does she contribute to the team's mission?
To get the juxtaposition. So once again, without having all the special effects and things, we wanted to get natural built-in tension. And so, the thing about Frances is she's self-accomplished, but she's also, the daughter of the head of the agency. So she's doing her own thing to create her own identity while searching for his approval. And then juxtapose that she's also highly attractive, and to show that, you know what I'm saying, it's not just about what we see at the surface. And I feel like that character gives the film a lot of, or the overall cast, a lot of balance. So I think that this character, she brings balance, intrigue, and helps keep the story moving, as well as delivering some comedy in there to break the ice.
Now, Tom is described as the head of the secret agency. What challenges does he face in leading the team and managing their covert operations? And how does he support the protagonist in his new life as a pro golfer?
Well, I mean, the thing he has to deal with is pretty much staying in touch with society and reality, from his perspective of knowledge and information, which is far removed from the average citizen, as well as keeping the agency covert. And in this film, the kind of the backstory is based on like the origins of the CIA and the groups that were invented that preceded what we know as the CIA and all these different things there. So with his age, presumed age in the film, you know, he knows all the history, and you know, as times are changing, going into diversity, right? So they recruit this new member that's from a diverse background, and he has to do all these things and figuring out ways to take this new talent, because they want somebody to be less suspecting, and training the training aspect, as well as some of the assumptions from their profile. So being so much of the system, and it's just new school, old school, new school, as far as being, as well as the guru. So those are some of the challenges that he has, and some of the built-in, conflicts from his character to the rest of the film and cast.
Now, Isla, the foreign seductress, is sent undercover to seduce the protagonist, right?
Yes.
So what role does she play in the protagonist's journey and the overall plot? And how does her presence affect the dynamics within the team?
A lot of things. So she helps represent the need for growth in the protagonist, right? She exposes his weakness in this particular genre and series of films and short film. You know, the protagonist's weakness is women, right? He wants to live the lifestyle. He's come from this flashy pro athlete background, and he wants to take his new job, but he's not taking it all too serious. He meets somebody who's beautiful, he's distracted. He has a premonition, he sees her early in the film or whatever, and they actually meet in life. And, you know, it's just, she represents, foreshadowing, being able to see the signs and the writing on the wall, and what happens when we don't lead with our best intentions, and we lead, as a man, from an unfocused place.
Now, Orion, this former pro athlete who is deeply connected to LA street gangs, is framed into a life of espionage. So how does his background and his connection to gangs add complexity to his character? Can you kind of like share more about his motives in his motivations, especially his motivations and struggles in life?
Yeah, the character's name is Orion. And yeah, so it's just showing that he's a product of his environment that is capable of doing many great things. And he's from an area where, you don't have a choice on how you're going to interact with the gang, because if you're either born into it or you grow up around it, you have to pass these things just to go to take, the trash to the sidewalk or to walk to the store or whatnot. And so he took some of those values, but, he's always been capable of great things. He had to even stay focused to go to play sports. And it's just using that environment really was to set up like I said, a reasonable, quickly believable pathway for someone from that environment to become an espionage, so that from the information, from the relationships he's kept, he's become basically a witness to a lot of different things. And so he's framed with, if you don't help us, then we're going to take all your friends down, because in the States, they have something called like a RICO, where basically guilty by association. So if you're hanging with 5 people who do something, all 6 of y'all are going down, kind of no questions asked, for lack of better, without the details. And so he's framed where he either going to give up his whole neighborhood, or he's going to go ahead through this life of espionage to protect those others. And so it's showing that he's willing to sacrifice himself or the people he cares about as well.
So then you've got a villain, and you've got this antagonist, Solomon King. Solomon King is described as an enforcer and not a nice guy. So what makes him a compelling antagonist? And how does he challenge the protagonist and the team?
Well, because he's just a ruthless person, and he challenges him to break. So it still goes back to how willing is this protagonist to, continue to protect his people and the family he loves, the neighborhood he belongs to, and all these different things, right? How dedicated is he to this new lifestyle when he's put through all levels of torture? And so he's there to also set off the juxtaposition as well as reinforce the power dynamic between Irgasev. So he's hands-on while Irgasev is hands-off. And so that's kind of where his character comes in to add the needed grit from a mercenary, hired gun perspective. He doesn't have any emotional attachment to any of the things going on. He's just there for really the end goals or the financial gains. And through that motivation, then he's willing to do whatever. So then we find out how dedicated the new agent Orion is to his new job, as well as to, like I said, his values of, not going down with the ship and saving everyone on board.
Now, Xavier, I'd say Xavier, not Javier, so the protagonist's cousins, and a professional basketball player in China, is described as the level-headed brainiac of the family. How does he contribute to the protagonist's journey and help him navigate his dual identity?
Well, we found that out later on throughout future series of this, how he really fits in. But in this, he's designed to basically showcase how they were very cool and how you go one way and go the other. So everybody from the same environment doesn't make those same choices. So as we use the phrase, a product of the environment, you have someone else who's from the same environment who didn't get involved in those things, who made a name for itself overseas and was able to create a sustainable living and didn't, emulate the things that they saw. So it's just to show show more diversity from what we would call, I guess, the ghetto or the inner city or whatever. And they add another voice to another group of people that's voiceless in that niche. So everybody from a really bad neighborhood doesn't always have really bad outcomes, but, they aren't glorified necessarily in film or music.
As a creator, because now we're done with these characters. I mean, they're as you folks can see, in 30 minutes, 20 minutes of film, these folks managed to develop this whole story. That's called storytelling. That's filmmaking. This is real filmmaking. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how to tell these stories, these parallel stories in not parallel, but you develop these characters deeply within this kind of story. So great job with this film. Now, as a creator, how do you plan to balance the action and suspense of espionage, these espionage elements with the sport aspect of the film? Now, can you give us some insights into the tone and the style you aim to, you achieved in this? And I mean, I'd say you did this brilliantly, and I think this is a lesson to a lot of filmmakers, and especially aspiring filmmakers, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to do this, myself included. So can you give us some insights on how you folks did, how a filmmaker would do this, and how you managed to achieve this?
Well, the style I was going for was chiaroscuro. Just got down and did the planning, put the cast together. Just like a better, just good kind of brief through it. When we get advice to other filmmakers, probably give a little more detail. But yeah, my process was pick the style, went through it. We had some different challenges once we got on set. It was independent self-funding. Made some mistakes. It was actually my first film, so my next one's gonna be much better. Weren't able to accomplish everything we wanted, but it's really about planning, detail, developing the story, casting and rehearsing and getting in the game day, using the sports term. But once we starting to shoot on location here in Los Angeles. From a aspiring filmmaker, to do all that, you have to get your story, plan your shots. So you need to learn all the different styles of cinematography. So you need to, I would say if you never shot a film before, you should give yourself about at least 90 days of just pure study. Preferably you can get 6 months to learn the style, different types of lighting. And the place I would focus on most is lighting. So that's what we want to improve moving forward. And that's what I learned most from this. But focusing on your lighting and getting with either some sort of free course or something online. And I think preparing as best as you can is better than just picking up a camera because you have to learn the language to translate the vision. So each thing that you want to see, like, man, I just want the camera to do like this and all that. Like there's a language behind it, there's a technique behind it, and then you learn to combine these techniques. So if you had techniques 1 through 4, then you'll be like, for this one, I need technique 2 and 3, right? Or if it's technique for the next, I need technique 1, 3, and 4. And you'll learn to do that. And, like for people who come from a basketball world, like they have a move called the hezi or cross tween, or, in soccer, you have a step over, right? You just not, some people just say, I'm gonna just do like this, but it's actually called a step over. So you can be more planned and methodic with what you're doing. And the last thing I would say is give yourself more time or enough time on days to shoot. And you're just not gonna be able to shoot a scene or the way you want it in 2 or 3 hours. So you have to give yourself enough time every day.
Now, can you share like a specific scene in the film that you're particular excited about, like your favorite shot, and what makes this shot, this scene stand out and contribute to the overall narrative?
Yeah, I would say that scene. There's a scene on the airplane where Orion is first propositioned with joining, and he's contemplating the decision with the agents. I like that scene. It's got a lot of personality. You learn a lot of information. So, this film is kind of giving you information on the plot and pushing towards the end of the narrative. And so in that scene, you definitely get a lot of information. You get comedy, you get a little drama, you get a little seriousness, and it goes back and forth. And it showcases, a lot of people from the cast in there, and the diversity and the talent level that we had with this film, which is featuring all independent upcoming talents.
Okay, so to wrap it up, what do you hope audiences will take away from Locator? Are there any messages or themes that you want the viewers to connect with throughout the story and characters you've created?
Yeah, man, I think the main thing is the self-reflection. Like, what would you do? So we want people to kind of think about, what would you do in this scenario? What would you do if your proposition is? How would you react? What do you think about our main characters' decisions and choices? And, how do they shape up with yours or what in the world you come from? And hopefully that, that they can find some entertainment and maybe some deeper meanings in there. And just kind of, what do you think is the proper way that we should be, protected by our governments? What is the role? What's crossing the line? What are the blurred lines, and what is freedom? Is another thing we want to think about.
And what would you say to the because we're talking with Brazilian audience, and is there anything to say to Brazil as you're now on national television presenting your film? Is there any particular message you have directed to this audience?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, Brazil, I love you. It's one of the favorite places to be. The culture, the aesthetic, so much of, what we get on entertainment on the world stage comes from Brazil. A lot of our culture, a lot of our favorite music here in the States is actually, from Brazil as well. So it's just a wonderful place. Really hope to build a relationship. And the main thing would be to, like it so we can produce more, so we can come back and give more of this series so that, we can grow and watch the journeys of these characters. And so with him being an international character, what we want to set up is for him to come to different countries and have to solve crimes and be on this international. So it's an international spy show. So, as we grow, then our ability to do things on location include various cultures grows. And that's one of the things we love to do, is let everybody feel like some sort of connection. So that's what I want from the Brazilian audience, is to support, right? And to be invited into the family, right? And to grow and create this cross-border brotherhood.
Well, what platforms? Because the movie is on this TV channel, but besides this, what platforms can people watch this film on demand? Because like on TV, it has to be at a certain time. But I mean, on demand, where can people watch this work?
So yeah, definitely on social media. So our Facebook as well as our Instagram. The Instagram, we're gonna have the captions, but I'm gonna have the Instagram page posted on the film as well. So as you watch it, you'll know exactly where to go to stay more in tune. And from here, we're gonna be going on more international channels, putting on iTunes films, and uploading there. So there'll be multiple outlets, and the best way will be to start on social media. And like I said, once they watch this, all the information will be on the film that they're watching while it's airing.
Okay, so I want to thank you so much for taking this time to talk to us in Brazil, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. No, thank you very much. Love you. Thank you for this opportunity, and want to tell everybody out there, thank you as well.
Trap. I use blockchain to get my whole blockchain. They had my people on blocks and chains, had us block name. But I said follow my block lane. Niggas pop shit, but we gon' pop they top name. I'm new, they call me low man.
E aí, galerinha, tudo bem? Hoje a gente vai trazer pela segunda vez essa grande artista, Mara Rosner. Ela que tá aqui pela segunda vez, e eu tenho uma novidade. A gente fez esse clipe musical para ela. Legal, né? Pois é. Então a gente vai vir com esse grande sucesso, Curaçana. Bora lá?
Sana ya he ya ha, cura sana ya he ya ha. El amor es la verdadera curandera. El amor es la verdadera curandera. Cura sana, cura sana. Montañas, montañas, fuerza, fuerza. Montañas, montañas, fuerza, fuerza. Lleva tu cuerpo a lo alto de las montañas. Tan solo su aire lo cura y lo limpia. Tan solo su silencio lo restaura. Cura sana naturaleza. Cura sana naturaleza. Vamos a cantar a la Pachamama. Vamos a cantar a la Pachamama. Gracias, naturaleza. Gracias, plantas sagradas.
E a gente volta na semana que vem sem falta. Obrigado pela sua audiência e pela sua companhia.